Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Boy oh boy, Chanel, what are you doing? You opening up private exclusive boutiques just for top tier customers? What's going down, Chanel? Let's talk about it. Because I got a lot to say and a lot of deets to share. Intel, perchance maybe as well. Subscribe to my channel here on the tubes. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today and gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together there for extra perks as well. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream every Saturday. You are all invited to partake in the chats. Cue in my co-chatters. Hi everybody, how's it going, my loves? So yes, you've heard it. It's all over the news by now. Chanel is allegedly going to open up special boutiques dedicated, or let's just say potentially accessible, only to their top tier clients that spend the money, the big money. So the news has hit a lot of different news outcasts. Business of Fashion in particular is one that I like to look at often. And Business of Fashion also reports how much money Chanel reports to have earned in 2021. This is also an interesting factor that factors into, I believe, the decision they have made to start opening these private boutiques accessible only to top tier customers. And mind you, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, just my opinion, not rooted in any facts or truths. Everything is alleged. So, Business of Fashion reports that Chanel reports that in 2021, their sales jumped 50%, which is huge considering that we were going through a pandemic. So they jumped 50% to $15.6 billion as the company publicly reported annual results for just the fifth time in its entire history. And Chanel exists as a brand since 112 years. So they don't like to report their numbers, and they usually, in the past, I know in France it used to be like that. I don't know how it is for Europe now with the European laws, but you have to pay a lot of money to not disclose how much money you're earning, and they would pay that extra fee to not disclose how much money they earned. But I think they were particularly proud of the amount of money that they earned in 2021, that they decided to disclose that they've had a 50% growth. I guess if you declare they had a 50% growth, then we can deduct how much they earned in 2020, right? But anyway, so the driving growth for all of this was fashion, not bags, fashion. So Virginie Viard must be doing something right. Jewelry and watches. I cannot believe that their watches are selling. I mean, Chanel and watches makes no sense to me. But jewelry, really? I mean, I know that their profit margins on their jewelry are huge. Huge. Best sales commission is also on jewelry pieces. Like, they love to sell jewelry because those profit margins are the best for them. But to think that driving growth, well, first and foremost, fashion, I'm happy for them because they are a fashion house, first and foremost. But then jewelry and watches, second spot, interesting. While beauty and fragrances were kind of low in 2021, allegedly, because people were not traveling. Duty-free shops, all of those shops, you know, when you travel a lot, when you fly a lot due to the lockdown, pandemics, or what have you. It was interesting for me to see these numbers because I thought to myself, well, I mean, I'm the crazy person who loves perfumes and creams and stuff, so I don't need to travel to buy them. I just buy them all the time. I didn't know that most people purchase perfumes mostly when they travel. So that was news to me, but interesting to know that beauty and fragrances performance was more muted, allegedly due to the continued downturn in travel retail. And this was announced by CFO Philippe Blondieu, who said that in an interview. Now, with sales surging and Chanel committed to not selling its core leather goods and ready-to-wear online, because we know that Chanel does not want to sell their clothes and their bags, as well as their accessories, minus eyewear, online. They are committed. The brand's tight footprint of just 250 fashion boutiques risks overcrowding. So they're telling us they have 250 fashion boutiques worldwide. I wonder if this also includes the corner stores within bigger malls and stuff like that. But anyway, the label plans to hire 3,500 additional employees and open separate private stores for top spending clients in a bid to protect the customer experience, starting in key cities in Asia. So it's unclear how that move will go over with the brand's first-time and occasional shoppers, who are now paying as much as $10,000 for a timeless classic maxi, plus tax on top. Now here we come to my analysis. So they've announced they got 50% more revenue in 2021, the billions of dollars extra they've earned. They're going to hire allegedly 3,500 new employees, and starting in Asia, they're going to start opening these private Chanel boutiques that are going to be accessible only to high tier paying customers. Now, obviously, this raises a lot of questions. The questions this raises is, and I think this was why the news was kind of scandalous, because a lot of YouTubers picked up on this. The first thing that comes to mind is, well, if Chanel opens boutiques that are only private boutiques that are only accessible to top tier customers, what does this mean for the regular tier customers that have thus far been purchasing in the regular Chanel boutiques? So the regular customers are going to stand in line in front of the shops like it's a supermarket event? Are going to be treated in a ditzy way, quickly, okay, try it on. If you like it, buy it. Otherwise, I don't have time for you. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for you. Next, you don't want to spend $10,000 on a bag that has flaws? Well, next, then you're kicked out. Next, there's another 20 people waiting that are willing to purchase the flawed bag for $10,000, honey. So next. And then people started speculating, well, then what happens in these private stores where I don't know how you get access to these private stores. I guess it's upon invitation only. So I guess you get invited to the shops, and then you get your allocated slot time, and then you get your sales associate to just dedicate the time to you. They're probably going to serve you food, nice food and drinks in a very, soft, lit environment where you can take the time to purchase all the stuff you purchase, which is clothes, jewelry, the watches, and yes, an accessory from time to time as well. Now people started speculating, well, what about the unicorn bags? Are they only going to be available for all the clients that go to the private Chanel boutiques and not available to, the random plebeians that is us that buy in the regular Chanel boutiques? You see, this I think is a flawed way of thinking. And let me explain why. First of all, we have to rewind a second and talk about the fact that Chanel is announcing allegedly opening these private boutiques for top tier customers in Asia first and foremost. Interesting that they mention Asia and China being a big part of Asia, because their biggest clients at the moment are in Asia. Sure, the Emirates as well, but Asia is where the money's at the moment. That's why their fashion shows and their collections are also designed and targeted more to Asian clients, because that's where the money's at. They are the fastest growing economy at the moment. They have the money, honey. So, at the same time, we have seen, and I have reported about this in the past few years, since in particular the pandemic started, South Korea, for example, huge issues with people waiting in line, wanting to buy the Chanel bags, and there's these like huge lines in front of the boutiques. Super vulgar to look at, really, and just detrimental to the image of the brand. Just waiting in line to buy a bag. Nothing else from the brand. They don't care about anything else. They care for, when the shoes go on sale, to buy the sneakers and the shoes, but other than that, just the bags. So obviously, however, so it's an issue for Asia. Asia is booming, exploding, and they want their Chanel. Okay, Chanel is the most sought after, allegedly, luxury brand in Asia. So it's very, very popular. So obviously, I understand why Chanel would like to make the move and say, hey, we don't only have clients that just want bags. Don't forget, you guys, Chanel is first and foremost a fashion brand. It's a couture house. It's not a bag brand. So I think I'm the only person on YouTube that's going to tell you that I'm favorable to this. And I'm going to explain to you why before you attack me. Let me explain why I'm favorable to these private shops. Because, first of all, I think of it as, okay, what if it was my brand? And I had a few customers with good money that love my clothes. They love to buy my clothes, my couture. Whether it's prêt-à-porter or haute couture. We're going to get to haute couture in just a bit, but let's just say a lot of prêt-à-porter and métier d'art, which is also prêt-à-porter, halfway. And they love to buy it, but these clients invest a lot of money buying my clothes. They spend $200,000 every season in buying clothes, full-on outfits from head to toe, from the hat to the shirt to the jacket to the pants to the skirt to the dress to the stockings to the shoe to the rings, and also the bags. But before they get to the bags, they've already spent $150,000. Now, imagine me having I don't know how many boutiques they have in Asia, 30, 40 boutiques, and all of them have these lines of people waiting in the morning to get their hands on a rectangular mini, on a timeless classic double flap. That's going to turn off my clients that actually want to buy the clothes and that actually want to spend the real money in the boutiques. So I want to offer those people a special experience so that they don't have to wait with the people who don't care for my brand. And let's be very clear about this. You don't care for Chanel if all you want from Chanel is a bag. It's that simple. We can debate it. You might say, no, why? If I just like their bags? Yeah, but if you just like their bags, you're not really committed to the brand. You're not. Because Chanel was not born as a fashion house for bags. Actually, it was born as a millinery house, but then it evolved into fashion. But then fine, buy Chanel hats and buy Chanel clothes. And then we can talk about it. But all you want is Chanel bags? Well, if I'm the client who likes to buy their clothes, I'm perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't want to be standing in line for 10 hours with random people who just want to buy the bag to resell it, or that's it, and then they're done with the brand. And I'm like here buying every season stuff from the brand, and I can't get into the store to enjoy trying on the clothes, purchasing the clothes. So there's that. And I understand that in Asia, they want to deliver a special service to the clients that actually are committed to buying the whole collection. A little bit from everything from the collection, not just the bags. I get it. I totally understand why they're doing this. At the same time, you might say, yeah, but that's still so elitist, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, hold on just a second here. Let's not forget that Chanel was not just born as a couture house. It was born as an haute couture house. So if you really think about it, we already have the private Chanel store that is only accessible upon appointment only or invitation only. And you might ask, well, what is that, Dacob? And I'm going to tell you what it is. 31 Rue Cambon, the Haute Couture Ateliers. That's exactly what it is. You want to buy an haute couture dress, you don't just go to your regular Chanel boutique. You have to go to the haute couture maison, to the salons. They measure you, they create a bust for you, they do everything by hand just for you. That is the private top tier Chanel experience. Now, what I think is going on here is, since Asia is booming so much, I have a sneaky suspicion, and by the way, up until now, for the most part, if somebody from China wanted to purchase Chanel haute couture, they would be flying to Paris. In some instances, of course, the haute couture people fly over also. If you have enough money, they might fly to you as well. But I have a sneaky suspicion that these private experience shops are not just going to be prêt-à-porter, but they're also going to include haute couture. And I do believe that haute couture is shifting more to Asia. So I think that there will be, this is just my speculation, the opportunity in these private Chanel shops, top tier clients, there will be an opportunity there also to get measured and to maybe initiate the haute couture purchase process as well. And I think they might be doing this also to kind of try to take a little bit of the pressure off of 31 Rue Cambon, because they're rushing like crazy to get those dresses out and handmade for all their clients. And they have, you'd be surprised, they have way more haute couture clients than you might think they do. And so since Asia is such a huge market for them, and it's growing and booming, and most of this money, I mean, I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I have a sneaky suspicion that most of this revenue that they got extra the past year came from Asia. So if the money is mostly allocated in Asia and the most earnings come from there, it makes sense to also dedicate more space, special shops for customers that are into the entire brand experience and not just the bags or small leather goods. Do you see that there's a logic to this? And that's why I don't think it's a bad thing for the brand to do such a thing. Now, obviously, if you are a top tier client invited to these special boutiques, and then, you buy the whole outfit, you buy several full looks from every season, and on top of that, you want some special unicorn bag, I do believe that they're going to have that there for you, more readily available than they would have it in their regular boutiques, because the numbers are low anyway in terms of how many are manufactured. But a lot of people have been speculating that the quality of Chanel goods is going to be lower in their regular boutiques as opposed to the private boutiques. I don't think that's going to be the case. Are they going to have better service in the top tier boutiques? Yes, I believe they're going to be less questioning whether or not what you bring back something that's flawed. I don't think they're going to pull up your entire purchase history and tell you, but you already brought back 2 flawed shoes last season. How dare you? I think in these private boutiques, they're going to be way more, oh, of course, madame. Yes, of course you can bring it back. Sorry so much for the blah, blah, blah. Here's a new pair or whatever. But I don't believe that the quality, unless you buy haute couture, if you buy prêt-à-porter, I think the quality is going to be the same in the private boutiques as well as in the public boutiques, right? Or publicly accessible boutiques, I'd rather want to say. Okay. Sabrina9556, private boutique will get those clients tipsy or drunk and have them spend $150,000 per client. Those clients are too embarrassed to return items too. No, I don't agree. So first of all, in the regular boutiques, they also get you tipsy. In the regular boutiques, they also give you champagne, and then you end up buying more than you wanted to. I have dealt with people who have a lot of money. Absolutely no problems to return anything. They don't care. And they know they have the money. And they know that if you create problems, they're going to spend that money elsewhere. So you want them to spend the money with you. So it's a whole different ball game when we're talking 150K, 200K. Jack says, so will couture be made in Asia, or will they send the measurements to Paris? This is an interesting point because, as we know, through all the speculations that have been happening with their particular tweeds, with the particular embroideries, even though they say made in France, usually it's made in Bangladesh, in India, in Pakistan, and then, imported back to France, finalized there, and you call it a day. Now, obviously, with haute couture, you have to make everything by hand. This opens up a huge ocean of opportunities and possibilities. They might have an haute couture salon in Asia as well. They might open one up and they might employ particular type of artisans to work just there. Everything is possible. Nothing is off the table at this point. And also, officially, they did not say that they're going to sell haute couture in these private boutiques. This is just my speculation, right? But are they going to expand this private type of boutique experience worldwide? As long as Asia is the strongest market out there, they won't. And let me tell you one thing. Europe, in particular, is not a big spender at Chanel. Europe is old money, and Europe is old traditions. There's not so much that even for Hermes, you're not going to see Europeans going all bananas for Hermes for Birkins and Kellys. They're going to give less of an F about it. It's Asia that's going crazy for this stuff. It's Asia that's hyping this stuff like crazy at the moment. They're craving it like they're craving oxygen. So, in fact, interesting note, European luxury boutiques during the lockdown and the pandemic suffered huge losses because the Asian tourists were not there to buy up all the stuff. And the local customers are not that crazy to keep buying everything they churn out. Local clients are much more picky, much more specific. They don't need to spend so much. So there's no need within Europe, and I'm talking about Europe in particular because Chanel is a European house, to create these specialty boutiques. In Europe, it's enough to just, call up a boutique, your sales associate, and make a private appointment in the normal boutique, and there's time and space for you. So similar also happens in America. Similar, but a little bit less. And so this need for these specialized boutiques for people who spend a ton of money, I see how that need is present in Asia. I understand it. I don't think that those boutiques are going to switch over to Europe as well, except for special occasions. And for special occasions, Chanel does open up pop-up stores. We've seen that happen a lot. But there's one particular pop-up store that popped up just now. And I have a sneaky suspicion, and I'm going to share this with you guys now. I have a sneaky suspicion that they're trying out how one of these private boutiques for top-tier clients could look like in the very near future. So you might be asking yourself, so how would a top-tier Chanel boutique look like? Well, let me show you what Chanel just opened in Cannes for the film festival. Look at this. This is an example of a Chanel boutique that has opened just now, or a short while ago, like a private experience. And this to me is very indicative of how one of these private top-tier Chanel boutique purchase experiences could look like. So this is inside, of course, you sit down, they're probably going to serve you food as well. Big couches, empty spaces, space to sit, really looking more like an apartment. This does look more like a house, and it looks more like a apartment than it would look like a boutique. Comfortable surroundings, settings where you can touch everything. All the special pieces are, of course, there. And then, a swimming pool. You can also take a little dip if you wanted to. You could also chill in the little spa area. This is kind of what makes it very different from your regular Chanel boutique. There's a literal swimming pool in the back of this building that you can also access. And I mean, to each their own. Kev says, I hate this color palette. Well, that's kind of beyond the scope of this video. We're not making this video to talk about their color palettes, but this is an interesting thing that could be... Oh, I have those sunglasses, by the way. Spring-Summer 2022 collection. This could be an example of one of those specialty boutique. Could be. I'm not saying it is, but it could be, since Chanel just opened this limited edition Cannes Festival moment boutique as well. Fascinating, isn't it? Objection beyond the scope, says Jack. Yes. Palm Beach, says Tina. Soho House, Chanel, says Happy Days. And Chanel has opened often in Soho House worldwide. Little pop-up boutiques from time to time. Vaquete Rata Corrige says, feels very cocoa. It does to me as well. So, you see, if we really analyze the reasons why they might be opening these private boutiques in Asia, I think there's more to it than just saying, oh my God, now their regular boutiques are going to be lower tier quality. Shopping experience-wise, they will be, because they're going to be crowded. People are still going to be running after their bags like crazy, and it's not going to be a comfortable experience. That's for sure. Not as comfortable as in this top tier thing. Yes, but no says, echoes of Coco's apartment. Kim says, I want to live there. Not going to lie. I would love to live there too. I'm not going to lie either. I'm not going to lie either. Julie Scott says, this is a trial run in a sense. If it does well in Asia, great. They can adapt the idea elsewhere. If it doesn't, they can analyze what mistakes were made and decide where to go from there. Only time will tell where this goes, says Debbie. Exactly, but I'm just saying we're way too quick, in my humble opinion, to just jump on the, oh my God, this is terrible, we're all doomed. Like, Chanel makes a lot of mistakes, in my humble opinion. This might not be one of them, opening up these private stores in Asia for top tier clients, because if you are a client that buys more than just bags at Chanel and you want to have the full experience and you're buying the whole total looks, you should have the opportunity to enjoy that, to really, really enjoy that. And I think that's great that they're investing in that. TNT Overpower says, you are so right about European market here. European hardly care about Chanel, Louis Vuitton, etc. Still, the bags are always sold out. No, they're not. But a lot of them are. Yes, but no says, it's actually the future of luxury. Maria B says, oh wait, it's only for Asia? Sorry, I just got back. For now, it's only for Asia. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, subscribe and never give up on love. Bye.